Hello everyone, I am Dr. Hana Sasaki. It is a genuine pleasure to sit down with you today and have this conversation about something that matters deeply to every one of us as we move through our later decades. If you are a woman over 60, I suspect some of these moments feel familiar. You rise from your favorite chair and notice a stiffness that lingers a little longer than it used to. Carrying the grocery bags from the car to the kitchen leaves you breathing harder than you would like. The flight of stairs to your bedroom might make your knees protest, or you catch yourself holding the railing just a bit more tightly. These changes can feel discouraging. Many women tell me they simply chalk it up to getting older, as if the body has an expiration date on strength and independence that cannot be negotiated with. I want to speak to you directly and honestly, the way I would if we were sitting together in my office. The physical decline we so often accept as inevitable is not entirely a matter of chronology. Much of it is a reflection of what our bodies have stopped being asked to do. When we remove the gentle, consistent demands that once kept our muscles, bones, and nervous system engaged, the body, wise and efficient as it is, begins to conserve energy by letting those tissues diminish. The good news, and I share this with every patient who sits across from me, is that we can speak to our biology in a language it understands. We can send clear, respectful signals that say we still need these abilities, and our bodies respond remarkably well, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Today, we are going to explore 3 foundational movements that have the power to reshape how you experience aging. These are not trendy exercises from social media. They are practical, evidence-based movements rooted in human function itself. Before we reach the specifics, though, I want us to understand a hidden truth that too many women miss. The single greatest predictor of whether you will remain independent in your own home, continue to enjoy your garden, travel to see grandchildren, or simply move through your days with confidence is not about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It is about preserving functional strength, balance, and the quiet ability to control your own body in everyday situations. That capacity is probably less present in your daily life right now than you realize. And the beautiful part is how quickly it can return once we deliberately invite it back. Let me ground us in the science, because I have found that when women understand what is happening inside their bodies, they feel less like victims of time and more like active participants. As a physician, I spend my days listening to women describe the moment they realize something had shifted. They speak of feeling less steady, of avoiding activities they once loved, of a quiet fear that one wrong step could change everything. What we are witnessing is sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that accelerates after age 60. After menopause, the protective effects of estrogen on muscle and bone decline. At the same time, many of us become more sedentary without even noticing. We sit longer, we reach for convenience, we protect our joints by using them less. The body interprets this as a signal that those muscles and bones are no longer priorities. Each decade after 60, without intervention, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass. That is not just about appearance. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It helps regulate blood sugar, supports immune function, produces chemicals that influence mood, and quite literally holds our skeleton upright. When muscle fades, bones lose the mechanical stress they need to stay dense. Joints become less stable because the surrounding muscles that act as shock absorbers have grown weaker. The result is a gradual narrowing of our world. We stop gardening because bending hurts. We decline invitations to walk with friends because we worry about uneven sidewalks. Each small withdrawal reinforces the cycle. I want to challenge a belief I hear often in my practice. Many women have been told that after a certain age, exercise should be only gentle stretching or very light movement. While those activities have value, they often fail to provide the specific stimulus your muscles and bones require to maintain themselves. The safest way to protect your joints is not to avoid using them. It is to surround them with strong, responsive muscle. Strong hips protect your knees. Strong shoulders support your neck and upper back. A responsive core and steady legs keep you upright when life throws the unexpected at you. This is not theory. It is physiology, and it is remarkably hopeful. Let me share a story that still touches me. Margaret was 68 when she first came to see me. She had always been the kind of woman who tended a large vegetable garden, baked bread for her church group, and took long walks with her golden retriever. But over 2 years, fear had slowly taken those things from her. She told me she felt constantly on the verge of falling. Her balance seemed unreliable. Her legs tired quickly. She had stopped gardening because she was afraid she would not be able to get up if she knelt down. The woman who sat in my office looked exhausted, not from physical labor, but from the emotional weight of waiting for the other shoe to drop. She said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm just waiting to break. We did not begin with dramatic overhauls or complicated gym routines. We returned to the basics of how a human body is designed to move. We focused on the 3 movements I'm going to teach you today. Margaret practiced them faithfully, starting with just a few repetitions and building from there. Within 3 months, she was walking her dog again. At 6 months, she was back on her knees in the garden, and her posture had changed so noticeably that her daughter commented on it. The transformation was not magical, it was biological. She simply began asking her body in a language it understood to maintain the strength and balance she needed for the life she wanted to live. That same opportunity is available to you, and I want you to hear me when I say it is never too late. I have seen women in their late 70s improve their sit-to-stand ability enough to stop using a walker indoors. I have watched 80-year-old patients regain the confidence to travel alone. Your body retains plasticity far longer than we once believed. The key is choosing movements that matter and practicing them with intention and consistency. Let us begin with the first movement, the sit to stand. This is without question one of the most important exercises for preserving independence. Think about how many times each day you transition from sitting to standing. Getting out of bed, rising from the toilet, leaving the dinner table, exiting the car. Each repetition is an opportunity to maintain leg strength, core control, and coordination. When we begin to push off with our hands or lean forward excessively, we are bypassing the very muscles that need the work. Over time, the legs grow weaker and the pattern becomes more entrenched. Here is how I teach it. Choose a sturdy chair of standard height, sit toward the front edge with your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest, or if you prefer, lightly touch your fingertips to your shoulders. This prevents you from using your arms to cheat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press through your heels and drive yourself upward to a full standing position, squeezing your glutes gently at the top. Then, on your next inhale, hinge at your hips and lower yourself with control. Do not simply drop into the chair. Imagine you are hovering just above the seat for a moment before you settle. That eccentric control is where much of the strengthening happens. If 10 repetitions feel impossible at first, that is perfectly normal. Begin with 5 or even 3, but focus on quality. You may also start from a higher surface, a firmer couch or a chair with a cushion removed, to make the movement more accessible. As your strength returns, you can progress by using a lower seat, pausing at the bottom for 3 seconds, or performing the movement more slowly. The goal is not to exhaust yourself. It is to send a clear, repeated signal that your legs are still needed for important daily work. The second movement I recommend is the wall push-up. Many women feel intimidated by traditional push-ups, and with good reason. They can place significant stress on wrists, shoulders, and the lower back if your foundation is not yet strong. The wall variation offers a safe, scalable way to build upper body strength, core stability, and postural support, all of which become increasingly important as the years pass. Stand facing a sturdy wall at about arm's length. Place your palms flat against the wall at shoulder height and slightly wider than your shoulders. Your feet should be hip width apart. Keep your body in one straight line from head to heels, as if you were holding a gentle plank. Inhale as you bend your elbows and allow your chest to move toward the wall. Keep your elbows pointing slightly downward rather than flaring straight out to the sides. Exhale as you press through your hands and return to the starting position. Focus on drawing your shoulder blades together and down as you push. This helps engage the muscles that support good posture. What makes this movement so valuable is how it translates directly to daily life. The pushing strength you develop here helps you open heavy doors, push a shopping cart, rise from the floor if you ever need to, and maintain the upper back strength that prevents the rounded shoulders so common in later years. It also activates the deep core muscles that stabilize your spine. I often tell patients to imagine they are gently hugging their spine with their abdominal muscles throughout the movement. Start with 8 to 10 slow repetitions. As it becomes easier, you can step farther from the wall to increase the load, or try pausing for 2 seconds in the lowered position. The third movement may look the simplest, yet it may be the most profound for preventing falls and restoring confidence. We call it the tandem stance, or heel-to-toe balance. Balance is something we rarely think about until it begins to slip away. When that happens, fear often follows, and fear leads to less movement, which accelerates the very decline we dread. The tandem stance retrains both your vestibular system, the inner ear mechanism that helps you orient in space, and your proprioception, your body's internal GPS. Find a clear space near a wall or sturdy counter you can touch if needed. Place one foot directly in front of the other so that the heel of the front foot touches the toe of the back foot, like standing on a tightrope. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing normally. Keep your gaze fixed on a point ahead of you. You will likely notice that one side feels noticeably steadier than the other. That is completely normal. Simply switch feet and repeat. If 30 seconds feels overwhelming, begin with 10 seconds and build gradually. You can make it more challenging over time by closing your eyes for a few seconds, removing your hand from the counter, or performing it on a slightly softer surface. I cannot overstate how transformative consistent balance practice can be. One of my patients, a 74-year-old retired teacher named Eleanor, had given up evening walks because she felt unsteady on her feet after dark. After practicing tandem stance daily for just 8 weeks, she reported that her confidence had returned enough for her to resume her sunset strolls. She told me the greatest gift was no longer feeling afraid in her own body. These 3 movements, the sit to stand, the wall push-up, and the tandem stance, work together like a tripod. They address lower body power, upper body, and core strength and balance. They are not flashy. You will not see them advertised in glossy fitness magazines, yet they target the exact physical qualities that determine whether you can continue living on your own terms. They improve bone density through controlled loading, enhance joint stability, sharpen neuromuscular coordination, and even support better cognitive function through increased blood flow and proprioceptive demand. The real magic, however, lies in consistency rather than intensity. I would far rather you perform 3 careful, intentional repetitions of each movement every single day than attempt a long workout once a week only to feel so sore afterward that you stop moving for days. Our bodies respond best to frequent, respectful signals. Think of these movements as deposits in a longevity account. Small amounts made regularly create the most impressive returns. Many women ask me about the best time to practice. I encourage you to anchor these movements to habits you already have. Perhaps you do your sit to stands every time you finish a cup of tea. You might perform your wall push-ups while waiting for the coffee to brew or while your oatmeal is cooling. The tandem stance can be practiced while brushing your teeth or waiting for the microwave. By linking these movements to existing routines, you remove the need for heroic motivation. They simply become part of the rhythm of your day, as natural as washing your face or taking your medication. Your internal dialogue matters enormously. Instead of thinking, I have to do this because I'm getting old, try reframing it as I am choosing to move in ways that honor the life I still want to live. That subtle shift from obligation to intention can transform your entire experience. I have seen it countless times in my patients. When the movements become an act of self-respect rather than a chore, adherence soars and results follow. As you begin this practice, some days will feel easier than others. You may wake up with more stiffness in your hips, or a slight ache in your shoulders. That is simply being human. Please do not interpret a challenging day as failure. On those mornings, move more slowly, breathe more deeply, reduce the repetitions if needed, and still give yourself credit for showing up. Progress is rarely linear. Some weeks you will feel unstoppable, others will require gentleness. Both are part of the process. Over months of consistent practice, most women notice several beautiful changes. Standing up from a chair becomes effortless, posture improves, which often reduces neck and upper back discomfort. Balance becomes more automatic, so walking on uneven ground or turning quickly feels safer. Energy levels tend to rise because stronger muscles use oxygen more efficiently. Many women also report better sleep and a lighter mood. These movements do far more than strengthen muscles. They reconnect you with your own capability. Of course, movement is only one part of the picture. Your body needs proper fuel and recovery. Consuming adequate protein, roughly 20 to 30 grams at each meal, helps preserve muscle tissue. Good sources include eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, tofu, lentils, and cottage cheese. Many of my patients find that adding a protein-rich snack in the afternoon helps them maintain energy for their evening movements. Staying well hydrated matters too, as even mild dehydration can affect balance and muscle function. Prioritizing sleep allows your body to repair and adapt to the work you are asking of it. These elements work synergistically. Exercise is the spark. Nutrition, hydration, and rest are the fuel that allows the fire to burn steadily. If you are living with arthritis, osteoporosis, a previous joint replacement, or any other medical condition, I strongly encourage you to consult your own physician or a physical therapist before beginning. They can offer personalized modifications that honor your unique history. The movements I have described are adaptable, but your safety comes first. My role is to empower you with knowledge and practical tools. Your healthcare team knows the specifics of your body and can help you implement these movements in the safest, most effective way possible. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you tried any functional movements like these before? What changes have you noticed in your strength, balance, or confidence? Perhaps you have a story about a moment when you realized you could do something you had been avoiding, climbing stairs without fear, getting down on the floor to play with a grandchild and back up again with ease. When we share these experiences, we remind each other that we are not alone. The woman reading your words right now may be feeling the exact hesitation you once felt. Your story could be the gentle nudge she needs to begin. So tell me, what is one thing you are genuinely looking forward to doing with greater ease this year? Is it taking a trip to visit family without worrying about mobility? Spending long mornings in your garden? Simply moving through your home with more confidence and less pain? Naming that desire makes the daily practice feel meaningful rather than mechanical. It connects the movement back to the life you want to live. Before we finish today, I want to leave you with a thought I share often with my patients. You are the architect of your own aging experience. The choices you make in these ordinary moments, how you rise from a chair, how you hold your body against a wall, how you ask your nervous system to steady, you are constructing the home you will inhabit 10, 20, even 30 years from now. By returning to these three foundational movements, you are choosing strength over frailty, stability over fear, and freedom over limitation. It is never too late to begin speaking to your body in this new way, and it is never too early to deepen the conversation. Your body is remarkably resilient. It has carried you through decades of life, through joys and challenges, through the raising of families and the building of careers. It is still listening. It is still capable of remarkable adaptation when given the right signals. I am so honored to be part of your journey, even in this small way through this video. You have so much life left to savor. Moments of laughter with people you love, quiet mornings with a good book, spontaneous adventures that once seemed out of reach. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel both informed and genuinely encouraged. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with a friend or family member who might also benefit. And if you have not already, consider subscribing so we can continue exploring the science and practice of healthy aging together. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself as you begin. Listen closely to your body. Celebrate every small victory because those small victories compound into profound changes. I am Dr. Hana Sasaki, and I look forward to meeting you again in our next video. Until then, keep moving with intention, keep breathing with awareness, and keep choosing the life you want to live. You are already doing better than you know. Your future self is thanking you. 24876 characters.